Wow, my first time ever doing a Facebook Live. This is kind of crazy. So let's hang around a bit and see if anybody's going to join us. If not, I'll just answer the questions we've already got. And those of you that are, if you've been on webinars during the last couple of weeks, hey there. If you've been on webinars on the last couple of weeks, I'm seeing all these women like dressing up with, putting full makeup on and doing their hair and looking kind of glamorous. Hey, Annalie, welcome. And thing is, I never look glamorous. So, this is it. And what's interesting about the diamond and jewelry industry is if you take retail jewelry stores, they're kind of intimidating. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but you go into a retail jewelry store and they kind of look you up and down and have this superior attitude to you. So I'm all about like keeping it real and keeping it unintimidating, because jewelry is it's a confusing issue and it's a complicated issue. And I think hey, Kasim, welcome. And I think stripping out the confusing issues makes it a lot more relatable, if that makes sense. I don't want to be that intimidation factor. So I like to keep things simple. I like to keep it as easy as possible and as straightforward as possible. So yeah, it's all about keeping it real. And I'm a big fan of cutting through the BS that goes with the industry. So there's a lot of smoke and mirrors and advertising and misconceptions that go on in diamonds and jewelry. And I like to keep it as straightforward as possible and cut through as much of that as possible. So we'll give it a few minutes and see if anybody else is joining us. Annalie, I have your question at the top of the pile. If anybody else that's on the visit right now wants to send me some questions, please do that. I can answer them live as we go. I've got some gemstones lined up to show you. So we've got a little tanzanite there. We've got a tsavorite there as well. Sapphire, Peacock sapphires. Anybody that's been talking about Peacock sapphires? Rutilated quartz, which is very cool. So yeah. So I think, what is the time now? It's just after 10. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Have you guys been surviving lockdown? Send me a message and let me know how lockdown has been treating you. Bronwyn! Brody Blue! Welcome to the call, my friend. How are you doing? Hope everything is going well in the Chocoloza world. As you guys know, Chocoloza is one of our collaborative partners, and we have gifted many of you with Chocoloza chocolates when you bought engagement rings and wedding rings and stuff from us. So I think let's dive in and let's start. And one of the questions I got was from Annalie, which was a great question. And her question was, why is it considered an investment? Why is jewelry or diamonds considered an investment when you only get a fraction of what you paid when reselling it? Hey, Cassie, welcome. And that's a great question, because a lot of people will advertise diamonds and jewelry as an investment. And it's a long-standing debate and it's a long-standing issue. And the thing is that it can be an investment. Diamonds and jewelry and gemstones absolutely can be an investment, but there are certain almost terms and conditions is not the right word, but there's certain criteria, that's a better word. There's certain criteria that need to be met. And the harsh reality is that the average man on the street is not buying investment quality gemstones and is not buying investment quality jewelry. There are investment quality diamonds out there. There are investment quality gemstones out there, but the average person is not purchasing those. So for most people, when you're purchasing an engagement ring or a diamond ring, you're purchasing it for a sentimental reason. You want to propose to somebody, you want to show an expression of love to somebody, and that's what it is. And the challenge comes in when you want to sell that, is that you as a buyer have more of a sentimental attachment to that piece than the person who is buying it. So there's always going to be a buyer-seller gap, and there's always going to be a buyer-seller miscommunication, for want of a better word. So you as the seller, you're like, this is my engagement ring, or this was my granny's ring, or this was my great aunt's ring, therefore it has this value. And the buyer's coming in and going, I don't know who your granny is. I don't know who your great aunt is. I'm just looking for a good deal. And it's a bit like buying a house. You know, the house is only going to be worth what the next person is willing to pay for it. So if you're in a down economy and the value of your house goes down, you're only going to be able to get a certain value, and that might not be what you paid for it. So that's kind of the easiest way to explain it. Diamond prices and gemstone prices have gone up over time. Ortelia T sent me a question going, do gems appreciate in value over time? And yes, they can. But if you look at the past year for diamond prices, they've dropped. But in South Africa, they are now costing more because the exchange rate is worse. So all diamonds, all gemstones are priced in US dollars. So our buying power as South Africans has significantly dropped over the last few years because the rand has weakened. So if you take gold is a fixed market price, and gold is the highest price it's been for a long time at the moment. So gold is a fixed market price, and whether you're buying gold in New York, whether you're buying gold in Hong Kong, whether you're buying gold in Johannesburg or London, it's the same price. It's $1,700 per ounce. Whereas there's no fixed market prices for diamonds or gemstones. So it's literally going to be what the next person is willing to pay for them. So you've got to understand that for the most part, your average consumer is not buying investment quality stuff. It's also, you know, who's looking for those particular gemstones at that particular time in the market, or who's looking for that particular cut and clarity of diamond. So Annalie, I hope that answers your question there. T, your question was, do gems appreciate in value over time? And yes, they can. You know, colored diamonds, their value has rocketed over the past few years. So the white diamond prices have gone down, but the colored diamond prices have gone really, really, they've increased almost exponentially to a certain extent. Something like pink diamonds, the world's leading supplier of pink diamonds is a mine called Argyle in Western Australia. And that diamond mine is closing down this year. So logically, if you're looking at pink diamonds, that's potentially a good investment, because the supply of pink diamonds is going to be restricted from here on in. So they're going to be a lot lower, a lot less easy to come by, a lot less easy to find. So the pink diamond price is going to go up. So yes, diamond prices can appreciate over time, but it is very much dependent on the economy. It is very much dependent on availability of gemstones and that kind of thing. Cassie, one of the other questions we got was, how do I clean my morganite ring? So firstly, congratulations on your engagement to Tim. I worked very closely with him on working on the best size for your ring and the best size for the morganite and that kind of thing. So you're never going to be able to beat a professional jewelry cleaning. Like taking it into a jewelry store or bringing your ring back to us is the best way to do it, because we can clean it out, we can brush it out, we can polish up the gold, and we can really do a thorough cleaning on it. Kind of a deep cleaning, if you want to call it that. One of the easiest ways to clean jewelry at home, don't laugh, is Listerine mouthwash. Literally. So if you had to take a little glass, take a little cup, put in enough Listerine to cover your ring. If you put in your ring in that coffee mug or in that glass, put in enough Listerine to cover that, and literally just swirl it round for about 30 seconds to a minute. Do it very gently. You don't want to knock the ring against the side of the glasses, the side of the glass or the side of the coffee mug. Yes, exactly. Seriously, Emily. But do that. So rinse it around for 30 seconds to a minute, and then take it out, rinse it under warm water with a soft toothbrush. Take an old toothbrush and literally just brush around the underside of the ring, brush around the diamonds, brush around the top. But that's one of the easiest ways to get your ring back to a pretty clean level without doing a professional cleaning. So Listerine for the win there. Somebody had said to us, are we still designing? Kayla had said, are we still designing and manufacturing during lockdown? We are doing as much as we can, but we cannot manufacture at the moment. So we are designing, we are doing sketches, you're welcome, Cassie. I hope that helps. Let me know how it pans out for you. So yeah, we're doing CAD designs, we're doing sketches, we're doing quotes as much as we can. You know, we've got full access to the diamond price lists and the diamond stock. The colored stones is a little trickier at the moment. I've got a fair number of things like Peacock sapphires still in my personal office at the moment, so I can do that kind of thing. So we're doing as much as we can, you know, so quoting, yes, designing, yes, CAD drawing, yes, all of that, but we just can't manufacture. We can literally only open our workshop as soon as lockdown lifts. Obviously, our President Cyril is doing an announcement tonight, so we're kind of on the edge of our seats. We've got a lot of jobs that need to go into production. We've got a lot of jobs that we want to continue with manufacture on that we had to take a break during lockdown. So yeah, so we can't manufacture, but we can pretty much do everything else at the moment. One of the other questions, just raising my seat. My seat has this horrible habit of sinking. I'm pretty short anyway, so yeah. One of the other questions we got is, what is rose gold made of? So rose gold, if you take gold in its natural state, gold is a yellow metal. Pure gold in nature is a yellow metal. It's bright brassy yellow, and it's 24 karat in its purest form. So to make any color gold, so yellow gold is the natural color of gold. Rose gold and white gold are both made by Oh, Kira! Woo! Hey girl, how are you doing? Hope things are well. Are you giving Tim my number? Just want to check with you on that. So rose gold is made by alloying yellow gold, pure gold, with copper and silver. So if you take white gold, you can make white gold by mixing yellow gold with some silver, some copper, and some palladium. Now silver and palladium are both white metals, so it will give the gold more of a white color. Rose gold uses a higher proportion of copper versus silver, and copper is obviously a red metal, so it here to learn about what I want. Yeah, we can help you there. So you mix the copper with the yellow gold, and it gives it more of a red color. Now 9 karat gold is only 37.5% gold, which means it's got 62.5% of alloy metals, which would be your metals like copper, like silver, like palladium, that kind of thing. 18 karat gold is 75% gold and 25% alloy. So you've got 25% of things like copper and silver and that kind of thing. So that's how you make the colors. Now, if you take white gold, one of the common questions we get is, why does white gold tarnish? Or my white gold ring has changed color. What is that about? And it comes down to, let's go to that 75% gold. Let's go 18 karat gold, 75% gold, 25% alloy. So it's going to be 75% yellow metal and 25% whitish metal. So if you mix 3/4 yellow with 1/4 white, it's going to be a dirty yellow. So white gold is never pure white. So what happens is, once we've manufactured a white gold ring, we rhodium plate it. Now, rhodium is another metal that's part of the platinum group of elements, and it's mined with platinum, it's mined with palladium. And what we do is we electroplate the outside of the piece of jewelry, and that gives it that bright white appearance that kind of looks like platinum, but it's white gold. Now, over time, that plating wears off, and that's where people then go, oh my God, my gold has changed color. No, it hasn't. What you're seeing now is the natural color of the yellow, of the white gold, underneath the rhodium plating, and all we need to do is replate the white gold with rhodium, and it takes it back to that white color all over again. So those are some of the questions we've got. A huge amount of inquiries we're getting at the moment come down to salt and pepper diamonds, and the first question is, what on earth is a salt and pepper diamond? And as soon as I've had a sip of tea, it's amazing how thirsty you get from all this talking. Salt and pepper diamonds have really, really grown in popularity over the last probably 2 years or so. And they are visibly imperfect diamonds. That's literally what they come down to. So 5 years ago, nobody had heard of them and nobody knew what they were. And what's happened is that, you know, as is the case on social media, and as is the case with internet marketing, is that somebody took one of these imperfect diamonds and made some jewelry with it, and called them salt and pepper, because salt and pepper sounds far more intriguing than visibly included diamonds or imperfect diamonds. And I don't have too much in the way of, I don't know if we can even focus on that, but that's a very small marquee cut salt and pepper diamond that I've got on my desk at the moment. And you can see it's kind of blacky gray. It's kind of out of focus. Not sure how to change that. But those are salt and pepper diamonds, and they're literally filled with black and gray inclusions. And that's what makes them appealing to some people, because we live in an era now where, you know, people are not striving for perfection anymore. We've got that imperfectly perfect thing going on, and that's kind of what salt and pepper diamonds are. No two salt and pepper diamonds are going to be the same, because the position of the inclusions, the intensity of the inclusions, the distribution of the inclusions, the color of the inclusions, that's all going to be different every single time. So putting those together in a stone, having those in a diamond, no two salt and pepper diamonds are going to be the same. So they're leading to very sort of rustic phrases that are being used. Galaxy diamonds are being used as well, but they're pretty cool and they're quite cost effective. They are still diamonds. So the durability is the same as a white diamond. The hardness is the same as a white diamond. They don't have the same sparkle and fire and brilliance, because obviously they are visibly included. But they're very cost effective, and it comes down to personal taste. There's some people that don't like them at all, and there's other people that think these are the best things ever. So if you like it, great. And remember again that for the most part, you're buying a ring to express a sentiment, not as an investment. So yeah, any other questions, guys? Do we have anything else going on at the moment? One of the other stones that, hey, Michael, one of the other stones that we're getting a lot of inquiries about at the moment are Peacock sapphires, which, here's another little one. Again, I don't know how you focus, but I don't know if you can see there's some lovely blue-green colors coming out of there. And Peacock sapphires, again, it's a marketing term, you know. They've been called teal sapphires, which is a good representative description of what the color is. It's shades of blue and shades of green. And they, again, no two peacock sapphires are going to be the same. They're intermingled in different color grades and different intensities of color. But sapphire comes in at 9 out of 10. Inner Voice Creative, Robin, how are you doing? So peacock sapphires come in those shades of green and blue, and the great thing is that sapphire has a hardness of 9 out of 10 on the gemstone hardness scale. So if you take gemstones are rated on a scale of 1 to 10, diamond comes in at 10 out of 10. That's the hardest gemstone we've got. Bottom end of the scale is talc, which you will know as talcum powder. That's your baby powder or your bath powder. And sapphires come in at 9 out of 10. So after diamonds, sapphires are the best engagement ring stone you can get, because they're really resistant to wear and tear. The peacock sapphires are a lot more cost effective than your royal blue sapphires. Let me show you here. I've got sitting on my desk, I just have to find it, a blue sapphire that we're going to be setting in a ring for a client. So let's just have a look here. Let me show you what one of the blue sapphires. So this is kind of a royal blue sapphire. So you can see it's got this really, really intense, rich blue color. And that's very different to the teal peacock color. So again, it's personal choice, but if you're looking for something cost effective for an engagement ring or a piece of jewelry, the peacock sapphires are definitely the ways to go. Okay, cool. We have a question in. So what it says is, how has the cutting changed over time? Old diamonds look so dull in comparison to new ones, even if the other C's, as in the 4 C's, the color and clarity, are the same. How do I match old stones on an eternity ring with new stones? Okay, cool. That is a great question. So cutting has changed phenomenally over time. With the advent of obviously new technology, it's made cutting and polishing of diamonds a lot easier. That said, the cutting and polishing of diamonds still is done virtually manually a lot of the time on what we call a scythe, which is a cutting and polishing wheel. And you're literally putting a diamond on to this polishing wheel, polishing a facet, rotating it, polishing a facet, rotating it. So if you take a typical round brilliant diamond as we know it, and I have one somewhere. So let's just go to this. Let me show you a round brilliant diamond. It's a small one. It's just under 1/2 carat, but it is very, very pretty. Okay, so that's your typical round brilliant diamond. That, can we do that? No, it's not focusing. I wonder if I tap there. No. Okay, but that's a round brilliant diamond. That diamond has 57 facets to it. And those are cut in exact proportions based on a mathematical paper written in 1913. So in 1913, a Belgian mathematician called Marcel Tolkowski, bye Annalie, thanks for joining us. That Belgian mathematician put together the perfect proportions for a round brilliant diamond with 57 facets. Now, a lot of the diamonds cut in 1913 to the 1930s to the 1940s don't have those 57 facets. So a lot of the old cut diamonds, you've got European cut diamonds, you've got mine cut diamonds, you've got rose cut diamonds. They have a lot fewer facets than a round brilliant diamond. And the fewer facets, and the facets are not at the exact mathematical proportions to reflect the light properly, means that those diamonds tend to look a lot less sparkly and a lot less brilliant than a round brilliant cut diamond. There is some, a lot of people feel there's historical value in the old cut diamonds and the rose cut diamonds and the European cuts, but a lot of it is personal taste. The crown is a lot higher, the stones tend to be a lot deeper, and literally as soon as you adjust those mathematical proportions, you adjust the distribution of light and the reflection of light in the diamond. So they are very pretty in their own right. My suggestion for matching old stones on an eternity ring is you could look at some of the sort of antique dealers to see if you can find any other rings with old cut diamonds and then take them out of that ring and make a new ring with your diamonds. My first thought would be to alternate the old cut diamonds with a new diamond. Old cut, new cut, old cut, new cut, old cut, new cut. In an eternity ring. That would be my best suggestion. I hope that helps answer your question. If it doesn't, send me another message. But thank you guys. We're here to help. Katannuta we're key on education. That's the main thing we want to help people with. Is too many times you go into a retail store and all they're trying to do is sell you a piece of jewelry. The sales agent is on commission. They're straight out of high school. They don't really know what they want to be doing, especially at Christmas, if you go into a jewelry store at Christmas. And we want to help educate people. Diamonds and sapphires and things are really, really amazing gemstones. And we just want our clients to know what they're getting, what makes them special, and how to differentiate from a retail store. We can offer much better quality gemstones, much better quality workmanship. And sorry, my cousins just sent me a message going, mind if I crash your Instagram? Yes, crash the Instagram. But we offer much better prices, much better attention to detail, and much more personalized service. We make all our engagement rings to order. We make most of our jewelry to order, which means that you're getting a unique piece made entirely to your specifications. So there we go. I think there's one last thing I want to wrap up on. And occasionally we'll get people saying, I've got some... Amy, yes! We're about to wrap up, so if you need any questions answered, just send me a message, Amy. Welcome to the call. So a lot of stuff we get is people going, oh, I know somebody who's got a tanzanite mine, or I know somebody who's found some sapphires, or I've got somebody who is Nico. Welcome to the call. I've got somebody who is left as an inheritance. So this happened is that a friend I know that lives in Alex in Johannesburg, which is one of the townships, he sent me a message and he's like, my father's left as an inheritance of some rough tanzanite and I want to sell it. And immediately my warning lights went off and I said to him, I'm like, send me a picture, dude. Samadhi, send me a picture. Let me see what we're dealing with. And he sent me a picture of pretty much something that looks like that. And I don't know if you can see it. It kind of looks like a dirty grey lump, but there's some flashes of blue in it. Now, what happens with these chunks, and these chunks are everywhere in the industry. I've got 2 of them sitting here. And what happens with these chunks is if you shine a light through them, and I'm just going to switch on my Lume Cube now to do this. When you switch a light through them, you'll see the vivid blue. Can you see that there? There's this vivid blue color that comes through this. So what happens is somebody's going to try and sell that to you as a piece of rough tanzanite, or a piece of rough ruby if it's red, or a piece of rough emerald if it's green. Here's the thing. These are literally chunks of glass that have been coated in some grey material. Oh, Gypsy, my dog, is coming to say hello. They've been coated in some grey material to make it look like rough gemstones. And how these scams work is that somebody will contact you and say they've got 300 carats of tanzanite to sell, and it's worth, I don't know, $500,000 or whatever the price is. But they're willing to sell it for $20,000 because they're in a hurry, and they'll take you to an expert, and that expert might be in a jewelry store. We know that this happened with somebody in Park Meadows, one of the jewelry stores in Park Meadows near Eastgate, and they'll go, definitely tanzanite, definitely high value. Oh my God, I'd love to buy it, but I can't. And you part with your 20,000 Rand or $20,000 thinking that you've got a chunk of tanzanite, and you don't. It's a chunk of glass. And like I said, this glass comes in red, this glass comes in green, this glass comes in purple. And I've had all sorts of people contact us over the years trying to sell us pieces of glass. And it's like, it's a scam. It's a fake. So if anybody ever tries to sell you one of these pieces, run. Basically, it's a piece of glass. And the tragic thing is, I had to say to Samadhi that he thought he had an inheritance from his dad sitting in his safe for the last 20 years, and he didn't. His dad had been scammed into buying some pieces of glass. So that's kind of tragic. We got another question there from T. Mbazazwi. Where are you based and how much are your engagement rings? So our office is in Edenvale in Johannesburg. So we're based in Johannesburg, South Africa. And we work to order. So if somebody says to us, how much is an engagement ring? The question is a bit like, how long is a piece of string? Where do you cut that piece of string? That's how long your piece of string is. So we make the engagement rings to order, which means we start with things like the loose gemstone. We then start with the engagement ring design. We then start with the manufacture. So let's just hold up some stones here. So these are all loose stones that we could put in rings, but each of the sizes is different and each of the prices is different, and it's the same with diamonds. So we have round about now probably a minimum starting price of about 11 to 12,000 Rand for an engagement ring, depending on the gemstone, depending on the design. 18 karat gold is more expensive than 9 karat gold. So, we work to a client budget. Our first question to a client is always, what is your budget? Because that budget will determine literally where we cut that piece of string. We can make a ring with a 0.3 carat diamond. We can make a ring with a 3 carat diamond. That 0.3 carat diamond is going to be 12,000 Rand. That 3 carat diamond is going to be 300,000 Rand plus. So I hope that answers your question, sir. It's a very, very flexible sliding scale, and that's why we're so personalized, because each person, we work to their budget. Do they prioritize color? Do they prioritize clarity? Do they prioritize cut? So that's what we do. Very, very personalized service. And yeah, so you could say our engagement rings would start at maybe 12,000 Rand and go upwards from there. And literally the sky is the limit. How much do you want to spend? That's what we can help with. And certain designs have certain manufacturer baseline prices. The more small diamonds there is, the more labor is involved. We have to set each individual small diamond independently. So there's labor involved with that. And that's where we start. So Robin, welcome. I think I said that to you already. Jayshree, welcome. Amy, any questions from you guys? Any other questions on stuff? I can talk for hours on all sorts of stuff. And yeah, to me, it's all about education. I'm lucky enough to be passionate about what I do. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that answered the question. We're seeing a big move at the moment towards yellow gold. We've done a lot of yellow gold rings over the past few days. Amy, you said the other day, I think it was yesterday, that you're a yellow gold fan. But yeah, you know, if anybody needs to know any other specifics. Oh, here's something interesting. Anybody heard of lab-grown diamonds or man-made diamonds, and what the thing about those is at the moment? Because lab-grown diamonds are a big thing in the industry right now. Not so much in South Africa, but in America especially. I don't know what's happening in the UK, but if you have a look here at these earrings, this is a pair of laboratory-grown diamonds, and they are literally atom for atom exactly the same as earth-grown nature diamonds. So a lot of people think that man-made diamonds are cubic zirconia or it's a moissanite or whatever, but it's not. A man-made diamond is actually a laboratory-grown diamond. It is 100% carbon, so the physical structure is exactly the same as a natural diamond. They cut the same, they polish the same, they reflect light the same. They are absolutely identical for the most part, and you cannot tell the difference to the naked eye. And that's a concern for the industry, because there's nothing wrong with buying a man-made diamond. You know, if you want to buy a man-made diamond, that's great, but the challenge comes in if you have an unscrupulous dealer or an unscrupulous retailer who is passing off man-made diamonds as real diamonds, because there's a huge price difference. A man-made diamond is about 50% less than a real diamond. So if you want to buy man-made diamonds, that's cool. You know, those earrings we have there, you can actually see, hopefully on the certificate, it says laboratory-grown diamond there. So if you're buying lab-grown diamonds, that's cool. Just know that that is what you're buying. But you cannot tell the difference in the naked eye. There are scientific ways, there's analytical ways of telling the difference, but when you put it in a ring, you can't tell the difference at all. Okay, hope that answers anybody's questions about man-made diamonds. Amy has a question. Perfect imperfect diamonds, how would I know the difference? Not a gemologist, not a geologist, no. So sometimes you can see the imperfections to the naked eye. So if we have the GIA clarity scale, which I'll show you here. The clarity scale is basically the imperfections in a diamond. So if you look here, let's have a look. VVS is very, very slightly included, is a very clean diamond. VS, very slightly included. SI, slightly included. And I is imperfect or included diamonds. Hey, Barbara! Woo! Welcome to the club. So the lower the level of clarity in the diamond, the more you go from the flawless to the imperfect included stones, the more chance you have of seeing the imperfections. Now, a lot of people want flawless diamonds, but then they balk at the price, because flawless diamonds are expensive. They are literally 1 in a million, so you're going to pay a price tag on that. So generally what happens when you're examining a diamond for imperfections, you're using what's called a loop. And literally, this loop is where you would look at a diamond and it's 10 times magnification, and you'd be literally looking at the diamond under 10 times magnification for the imperfections. Now, this is what I do. So I do it all day. So me seeing the imperfections, I'd see them more easily than you seeing the imperfections. But the best way to know the imperfections in a diamond is literally the GIA certificate. So when you buy a diamond, you should get an EGL certificate, which is the European Gemological Laboratory, or a GIA certificate. And that will tell you there what the cut grade is, what the clarity is, and that kind of thing. So the certification, I'm a big fan of certification with diamonds. That's the best way to know the imperfections in the stone. Amy, I hope that answers your question. Jay, can you explain a diamond made using a loved one's remains? Let's just see. I've just seen questions pop up. This whole Instagram live thing is cool. Kayla, hey, welcome to the call. I did answer your question earlier. We can't manufacture at the moment, Kayla, but we can design and quote and that kind of thing. So Jay, yes. It's an interesting concept, and obviously a human body has a certain amount of carbon in it, and during a cremation process, obviously a body is cremated into ash, There has been debate about, is there enough carbon in a person to make a diamond? And there's some people that don't believe there is, and some people are thinking that the companies that are producing diamonds from a loved one's remains are running a bit of a scam. I do know there are companies doing it, and literally what happens is you're taking the ashes and you're compressing them in a high pressure, high temperature chamber. So if you think about how diamonds are made in the earth, they're literally made 100 kilometers below the surface under exceptional heat and exceptional pressure. And that heat and pressure literally compresses those carbon atoms together. So making a diamond from a loved one's remains has the same principle, but there are suspicions that carbon is being added to the mix because the human body doesn't contain enough pure carbon to make a diamond from that person. I hope that answers your question there. If it doesn't, send me another message. Kira, do all diamonds come with a birth certificate? No, they don't, but they should. When we sell any diamond, we sell over, sorry, I need another drink. Any diamond we sell over 1/4 of a carat, give or take, will be certified. It'll be a GIA certificate. It'll be an EGL certificate. That will tell you the weight of the diamond, the color of the diamond, the clarity of the diamond, will authenticate that it's a real natural diamond. The GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, is doing a test series right now on what they're calling a diamond origin report, which will tell you exactly what country a diamond has come from. Because at the moment, that is generally not always known. 90% of the world's diamonds are cut and polished in India. And if you take De Beers, for example, De Beers is currently mining in Canada, it's currently mining in Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia. De Beers will send all their diamonds to Botswana for sorting. So you might know that you're buying a De Beers diamond, but you don't know if that diamond came from South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, or Canada. The GIA is running this diamond origin system right now where if you have a diamond, you have a rough diamond from a known country like South Africa, it's been mined in South Africa, it gets sent to the GIA as a rough diamond, and they map and analyze the stone. The stone then gets sent back to you for cutting and polishing. You cut and polish the stone, and then you send it back to the GIA for certification. And they will certify that this is a South African diamond, cut and polished in South Africa, and known origin. So there's a big move towards that at the moment. To me, any diamond over 1/4 of a carat needs a certificate, whether it's a GIA or an EGL, because that's just your authentic. That's your certificate of authenticity. You know it's a natural diamond. You know it's not a man-made diamond. Colored stones are completely different. Colored stones don't come with certificates, generally speaking, unless they're very high-value stones. So that's a different story altogether. So, hopefully, Kira, that answers that one. I think, wow, oh my God, it's 20 to 11. How did that happen? Guys, thank you for hanging out for 40 minutes. If anybody else has any other questions, feel free to send them to me now. You've got about 30 seconds to send me some stuff. Just out of interest, Amy, on your imperfect diamonds, this is a piece of rutilated quartz, which is literally quartz with a different mineral called rutile in it. And that's kind of what imperfect diamonds look like. You've got these inclusions and imperfections in the stone. This one is available if anybody's wanted. It'll make a very pretty pendant or ring. And it's cheap. It's quite cheap. But that's imperfect diamonds kind of have imperfections like that in it. So if you can see those imperfections with the naked eye, they're generally considered lower value stones. Whereas now, of course, the salt and pepper diamond market has created something else. Kira, awesome. Where are we getting our diamonds from? That's really interesting. Yes. So they're being mined in multiple countries around the world. Russia is actually the world's largest producer of diamonds right now, which very few people know. Russia's producing about 33%. A third of the world's diamonds right now are coming from Russia. South Africa is not as significant as it used to be. And the next biggest country producing diamonds at the moment is Botswana. So Russia is first, Botswana is second, and then Canada is actually the third largest producing country, but 90% of those diamonds from wherever they're mined are going to India for cutting and polishing at the moment. Guys, thank you. Hopefully that gave you some insight into stuff. Thank you for sticking it out. If you guys have any other questions about our design process, about gemstones, about where stuff comes from, send us a direct message, send us an email, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you, Jay Brewerman. I appreciate that. It's been a pleasure having you guys here, and we're here to help. You know, we want to offer advice and education in a non-intimidating, down-to-earth, cut through the bullshit. Did I just say that? Cut through the BS kind of fashion. Guys, thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday, and we're here to help. Anything you want to know, send us a message. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Take care.